Have you ever promised yourself, tomorrow I'll wake up early, tomorrow I'll change my life, only to silence the alarm and sink back into sleep? And then the guilt hits. You scroll through social media. You see people winning, building, achieving, and you wonder, what do they know that I don't? What if the real difference isn't talent, isn't luck, isn't even intelligence, but 2 quiet hours most people sleep through? Let me tell you about a man who discovered that the morning can either build you or bury you. In a fading industrial town lived a 32-year-old man named Daniel. He worked nights as a warehouse guard, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. every single day. While others slept peacefully, Daniel walked cold concrete floors under buzzing lights. His paycheck barely covered rent for a cramped apartment with peeling paint and a mattress on the ground. But poverty wasn't his biggest problem. It was the feeling of being stuck. Every morning, as he walked home at sunrise, he saw the city waking up, parents packing lunches, professionals heading to offices, students chasing futures. And there he was, going to bed. It felt like life was moving forward without him. He wasn't lazy, he worked hard. But effort without direction is just exhaustion. And Daniel was exhausted. Everything changed one winter morning. His sister called. Their mother had collapsed from stress and overwork. At the hospital, Daniel sat beside her fragile body, holding hands that had labored for decades. She whispered something that cut deeper than any insult ever could. Please don't live your whole life just surviving. That sentence followed him out of the hospital before dawn. The sky was dark blue. The world was silent. It was 5 a.m. For the first time, he noticed how peaceful that hour felt. No noise, no chaos, no demands, just space. And in that space, he made a decision. I will not stay like this. On the bus back to the city, he saw a well-dressed older man reading a book, calm, focused, alert. It was barely 6 a.m. Daniel finally asked, "Why are you up this early?" The man smiled. Because mornings belong to people who want more. He explained something simple but powerful. Most people wake up and immediately react to the world. Messages, deadlines, noise. But if you wake before the world demands anything from you, you get to build instead of react. 2 intentional hours a day. That's it. Not magic, not secrets, not motivation, consistency. The older man gave him one challenge. For 90 days, claim your mornings. Use them to grow. Then see what happens. The next morning, Daniel's alarm rang at 5 a.m. His body screamed for more sleep. His mind negotiated. Start next week. You're too tired. One day won't matter. But he remembered his mother's voice, so he stood up. That first week was brutal. He felt slow, foggy, irritated. But he made a simple rule. First hour, skill building. Second hour, body and planning. No phone scrolling, no random videos, no distractions. He chose to learn bookkeeping and spreadsheets, something practical. At first, nothing made sense. But he kept showing up. Around week 3, something shifted. Waking up didn't feel like punishment anymore. It felt like ownership. While the city slept, he studied formulas. While others dreamed, he practiced. He started walking every morning, watching the sunrise. For the first time in years, he felt ahead instead of behind. 3 months passed. No dramatic transformation, no overnight success, just quiet progress. He earned online certifications, improved his confidence, lost weight, gained clarity. But the real change? He no longer felt stuck. One afternoon at work, he noticed how disorganized inventory records were. Instead of complaining, he built a tracking system using the skills he had learned. Simple, clean, efficient. His supervisor was impressed. "Where did you learn this?" Daniel smiled. "In the mornings." Weeks later, management offered him a daytime position in operations support. Better pay, stable hours, room to grow. It wasn't a miracle. It was preparation meeting opportunity. And preparation happened at 5 a.m. A year later, Daniel wasn't rich. But he was different, disciplined, skilled, respected. His mother received proper care. He moved into a better apartment. He had savings. And he still woke at 5 a.m. Not because he had to, because that's where he built his edge. Here's what most people misunderstand. Early waking isn't about the clock. It's about control. When you win the first hour of your day, you build momentum. When you build momentum daily, you reshape identity. And identity determines destiny. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is often hidden inside small, repeated choices. 2 focused hours a day equals over 700 hours a year. That's almost a part-time job working on yourself. Imagine what happens if you invest that into a skill, a business, your health, your mindset. You don't need a dramatic life event. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a decision. So here's a simple experiment. For the next 30 days, not forever, wake up 1 hour earlier. Use it with intention. No reacting, only building. Track what happens. Track your focus, your energy, your confidence. Because the person you become in quiet hours is stronger than the one shaped by chaos. 5 years from now, you will either say, "I'm glad I started," or "I wish I had." The alarm will ring either way. The difference is what you do next. Your future isn't waiting for luck. It's waiting for discipline. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, will you rise or repeat? Your next level might be hiding on the other side of sunrise. If this message resonated with you, decide right now what you'll build in your first hour. Not someday, tomorrow. Because transformation doesn't start with motivation. It starts with showing up when it's still dark outside and the world is quiet enough for you to hear your own potential.